Are we live? I don't know.
No, I think we're
It
live
says
now.
we're live now,
Yeah.
but chances are we could have been live a few seconds
Fine.
earlier. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, happy Tuesday, wherever you are. Wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, we hope you're having a fantastic one. Good to see everybody here today. Welcome to gPanel Basics. My name is Brandon. I'm the marketing director at Promevo, joined by Shelby Gaines, who is on our support team. And the purpose of today is we're going to walk you through, Shelby specifically is going to walk you through all the things gPanel that you need to know. So this isn't necessarily a super deep dive into everything. This is more an exploration of what are the most important features. So what are the things that you have to know? And then from there, ideally, like you get familiar with, let's say, like delegation and user customization, group management, stuff like that, reports. And then from there, like Shelby will introduce you to it. Then you can walk through the door and learn everything else that you need to know with your own exploration. Um, we apologize. I know everyone here was signed up for gPanel Basics a week ago, August 12th. A lot of you that are Google Workspace admins probably logged in that day and got the notification about your account being downgraded to starter or whatever it said. It obviously caused a lot of disruption and a lot of panic. And that's where someone like Shelby, bless you, stepped in to help all of our clients. Turned out to be a bunch of nothing, just a mistaken notification, right?
Yeah,
Um,
visual bug.
yeah. But at the time, we just had to be super responsive. And so we didn't really have, Shelby didn't have the time to deal with gPanel basics. I appreciate everyone's patience. Shelby, thank you for being willing to move it back a week.
For sure.
So let's get into it. So just as a reminder, this will be recorded. So those of you that are here, obviously you get to see it live. Those of you that aren't here, hi from the past. In the future, you'll get a notification in your email to be able to come in and watch it. For those of you that are here, over on the right sidebar, you'll see a panel where it's for questions. If you have a question, drop it in. Drop it in at any time. We will do our best to reply to it, either at the moment that you submit it. If we're still on that topic, I'll jump in and have Shelby talk about it. Otherwise, we'll take a couple minutes here at the very end to go through it. But with that, I am going to stop talking and hand it over to Shelby, who's going to walk you through gPanel.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Happy Tuesday. I'm Shelby Gaines. I am a system support engineer here at Promevo. I have probably interacted with most of you or some of you guys on tickets or a video call, but it is great to be here today to connect with you guys. And like Brandon said, I will be leading this month's G panel webinar, which is just going to be focusing on the basics. gPanel is a tool that duplicates a lot of the functionality in the admin console. It also provides additional features that aren't found within the Google Admin Console. Simply put, gPanel is a tool to manage users and adjust the permissions. So let's go ahead and get started. The first area that I do want to highlight is going to be the ability to toggle between light and dark mode. I personally like dark mode, but some users still like light. But this is just also really helpful because it helps kind of reduce the strain that administrators see sometimes when staring at a screen for a long time. I also like to point out that within your user settings, you will always have access to what role that you have within gPanel, whether you're an admin, you have a custom role, and you'll also see the tier of gPanel that you're on, just in case you needed to check or you're looking to upgrade. You will also have links that will take you to the user portal, documentation, and if you needed to reach out to, like, say, myself or members of my team, you can always reach out to us here via the contact support. The administration tools are going to be found down here, and I'd like to cover these first because these are going to be really valuable for new gPanel administrators. One very important tool about administrating tools is going to be the ability to set your application admin. The application admin has to be both an active user and a user assigned super admin permissions within the Google Admin Console. There can only be one application admin. So I always make sure that sometimes we have clients that use service accounts, but you want to make sure that the admin is active and has that super admin, or no one will be able to access gPanel. The gPanel settings encompass a range of other functionalities, including the ability to add secondary domains. So you can have all your domains, you can enable those here. You can also create welcome templates. So if you have new users and you wanted them to get like a welcome email, you can also create different templates for those. One of my favorite settings will probably be the Google API status. This is a favorite feature within the settings, but this toolbar provides important information about the operational status of different Google APIs, which makes it easier to monitor and troubleshoot. So you can check all of the admin APIs up here at the top, or if you have a user that is experiencing specific issues, you can come in here, you can type in the user's name, and then you can run that check to see if all of the APIs are working as they should. The next area I like to highlight is going to be indexing. Any changes in the admin console automatically sync up with gPanel when users log in. But if you need to change or make updates sooner, you want to see those reflected, you can come in and use the indexing tool. You can index users, groups, calendars, and OUs. And again, this is just going to sync up both of those admin consoles so that all of the information is identical. The role manager is going to allow administrators to create new roles with specific permissions, which is particularly useful for granting managers authority to solely operate over their own team. So maybe you want to take some stress off your help desk users. You can come in, you can make a certain type of role, maybe a calendar admin, and they will only be able to perform certain tasks with those permissions that you enabled. Enterprise clients can utilize the gPanel APIs to integrate with different software programs like Workday, Okta, and HubSpot. And this helps to automate processes like onboarding users, decomming users, and even creating standard user policies. The first major tool that I always like to highlight is going to be the user management. gPanel's user management serves as a default landing page for admins, providing a comprehensive user directory that mirrors the Google Admin Console, eliminating the need for user imports. New users can be created directly within gPanel through a straightforward process. What I would like to highlight, though, is going to be the tools that you can find within the user profile. gPanel provides granular control over user permissions, with user profile settings organized by service for efficient management. Notably, gPanel offers unique Gmail management capabilities that enhance user control and oversight. And again, all of these Gmail settings are going to be settings that you're not going to be able to accomplish within the Google Admin Console. Account delegation is a feature that allows an admin to grant specific privileges to other users' inboxes. Within Gmail, end users are able to delegate their own accounts, but in situations where you need individuals to act on behalf of each other, or maybe a compliance situation, admin are going to be able to come in and delegate those users in gPanel. You can also set up an expiration date. So if you, for instance, maybe you're a manager of one of your team members, they're going to be out for a week, you need to have access to that account. You can come in, add yourself or add the appropriate individual, and you can also set the delegation to expire. So that kind of takes away from you having to go back and remove it. It just expire on whatever date that you set it. The vacation responder and forwarding are also unique to gPanel. While these functions are available to the end user in Gmail, there is not a way for administrators to access these permissions within the admin console. In gPanel, administrators do have the ability to manage these settings, sorry. A vacation responder, also known as an automatic reply or out of office message, is a useful tool to inform senders that you are unavailable and provides information about when you will be back. This can help manage expectations and prevent urgent matters from falling through the cracks. For businesses who have clients that anticipate ongoing communication, this gPanel feature might be a valuable tool for your business. And the same can be said for forwarding. Enabling email forwarding ensures productivity and helps to create a backup of important emails by making sure that those emails are delivered to another address where where the communications can still be answered. Again, just trying to make sure that urgent matters aren't slipping through the cracks. I also like to highlight the signature templates. You can create signatures from within the user section, or you can go to automation and create a ton of signature templates. But signature templates are another unique feature within gPanel. Signature templates can streamline your workflow to help enhance your professional images. Signature templates offer quick information like name, title, company, phone number, email address. And also, a well crafted signature adds a touch of professionalism to your emails. You can also choose to have all of the emails that you will create will be available down here. So if you needed to switch them up, maybe somebody got promoted or maybe there's another signature template that they need, you can also change those here and that will all be reflected down here as well. The next tool that we are going to cover is going to be the calendar resources. gPanel offers a comprehensive calendar management capabilities exceeding the limitations of the Google Admin Console. So when you first look for a user, you're going to have access to all of their calendars. It's going to be their secondary calendars as well as their primary calendars. I also do like to highlight that you have the ability to transfer calendars without user deactivation. You know that if you try to deactivate or when you go to deactivate a user in the Google Admin Console, that is the only time you're able to transfer a calendar. Here, you can transfer it anytime. This is particularly beneficial during employee offboarding. This helps ensure that future events aren't missed. For example, if an employee leaves on a Friday, but their calendar is booked for the entire month, performing a full calendar transfer can be done to perform the continuity and again, just maintain that communication. As I mentioned earlier, when you pull up a user, all of their associated calendars are going to be visible. Admins are going to be able to come in to edit, share, and manage user access with those roles that mirror those in the native calendar app. Calendar events are also visible and manageable within gPanel. So admins are going to be able to come in and edit the specific calendar. Perhaps you need to change the name, maybe the location, the color. Admins can come in and do that. Admins are going to also have the ability to share calendars. You can change it from the top level. So maybe you want to change it to just only a certain amount of people, or maybe you want to make it public for everyone and change their role. Admins can come in and do that. Admins are also going to be able to add users in groups and adjust their roles. And again, these are going to be the roles that are similar found in the native Google app, but administrators can come and do that and set those and change the different roles as they see fit. I think one of the coolest thing that administrators are able to do is come in and actually create and manage events, which is really helpful. So for instance, if you know that you need to meet with one of your employees on a Friday, you can just go into their calendar and create that event. You can change the time, the date, you can add the appropriate users and groups. You can share these calendars out. And again, it's really cool because this is something that you cannot do within the admin console. You can move calendars. Maybe you need to move this calendar event to another user. You can also do that. So just really cool tools that you're able to achieve here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the resource calendars and templates, but I will say that recently our dev team has updated the UI. So instead of the pop-ups that were previously there, now when you go to add a resource calendar, it's much more intuitive. It's a nice, cleaner look. And again, you would manage these the same ways that you would manage your calendars at the top. All of your calendars, and if you create resource templates, will be available here as well. And for organizations with compliance requirements that, you know, maybe they need to audit what happened, when was a calendar transferred, you can also come down and check your calendar drive logs, excuse me, your calendar transfer logs. That's just keeping track of every calendar that has been transferred. gPanel empowers administrators with enhanced control over user calendars, streamlining processes like employee offboarding, ensuring continuity of events, and maintaining compliance through detailed audit trails. The next tool we're going to take a look is going to be the Drive Management tool in gPanel. And the first one is going to be the Drive Explorer. Again, when you're searching for a user, you are going to have access. Oh, if I can only type right. You are going to have access. Can't spell today. You are going to have access to all of that user's drives, their shared drives and their My Drive. So if you needed to come in and review certain things, you can come and do that. This drive management is actually more user-friendly experience than Google's, especially when you're trying to transfer drives. Again, when you do this action in the Google Admin Console, it's irreversible. So if you accidentally transfer a drive in the Admin Console, you cannot undo that. If you transfer a drive here, we do have a tool called the Drive Sweep tool that can basically go through and restore edit access to the original owner. So that allows them to still have they'll be able to access that information instead of it just all being gone like it would be within the admin console. But unlike the limited My Drive management in the Google Admin Console, gPanel provides comprehensive access to all of users' folders and files. Administrators will have the ability to create folders, to view folders, adjust sharing permissions, control document visibility, and set expiration dates for access. So For instance, if I needed to come in and I needed to look at a certain file for this one user, maybe I want to see this particular document. I'm going to be able to come in and I can actually hit view and I'll be able to see this exact document. It kind of opens up a shortcut to your Google Docs. So maybe you need to make some edits to it. You can actually use this to open up with your Google Docs. Maybe you need to share it, print it out. You'll be able to do all that from the admin console, gPanel admin console. You'll be able to rename the document if you need to. I like to highlight the sharing portion of it. Again, if you needed to change it, the visibility from the top level, maybe you want to restrict this document, maybe only a certain people can view it, or maybe everyone in your domain. You can come up here and you can change that appropriately. And then you can also add users in groups and adjust their roles. And again, these roles are going to be the same ones that you find within the native Drive app. You can come in, you can add users, you can change their roles, and you can even set expiration dates. Again, helpful if you only know that this user only needs access to this file for a week. You can set that expiration date, update it, and then you don't have to worry about coming in and removing that user. It's all automatic. The next tool that we're going to look at is going to be the Drive Search tool. Now, there is a Drive Search tool that is available within the native Drive app. However, it is only exclusive to the user's drive. gPanel's Drive Search tool allows administrators to locate any document within the domain using various search parameters, and once found, manage those documents similar to my drive. You do have to add a source type, and you can only add one source type. In this case, I'm just going to add a user. And then you'll just have to add one parameter. So in this, for this example, I'm just going to type in actor. And what this is going to do as I search, I need to add. What this will do is this is going to basically search through every type of document that contains actor. Here, let's try. Normally it would do that. Let's see if resume works. And of course, with technology being technology, it's not working. So I'm going to get a ticket in with the dev team. But normally what it would do is pull up every document that user has related to resume. And again, what you would be able to do is similar to how you can manage your documents in the Drive Explorer. You'd be able to come in, you can edit the sharing. If you need to rename the name, you can also, if you needed to even get rid of that, just trash it, start. If you needed to view it, you can do all of those things the same way that you manage, that you can manage the documents and profiles within the Drive Explorer. You'll be able to do the same with the Drive Search tool. For those companies that rely a lot on compliance, the ownership transfer logs provide a report of all the drives that have been transferred. This is really helpful for those companies that have strict compliance requirements. And administrators are also going to be able to manage their users' shared drives. You'll be able to see all of the shared drives within your domain, and administrators will have the ability to share drives, manage members, and adjust their roles, which mirror those found in the native Drive Up app. So for instance, if you wanted to come into a certain drive and you may not have access to it, let's find a drive we don't have access to. You'll see this little pop-up window. And what this is basically saying is you don't have access to this shared drive, so you need to add yourself to it. And I always try to say, give yourself the permissions that you need to be able to effectively do the tasks that you need. In this case, manager is going to be the highest permission, so I'm gonna go ahead and grant myself that. But this allows me to see all of the docs and files that are found within that shared drive. And again, as I mentioned, you can come in, you can view those, come in and view. You will also always be provided with a shortcut. So again, if you needed to make an edit to a doc, you can always open it up with the Google Docs. You can come in and rename it. And sharing, again, you can share it from the top level as well as adding specific users and groups. And again, adding their, you'll be able to change their role. So for instance, if you just want to make sure that somebody just has viewer rights or commentator, you can come in and add that to that specific file. And you can do the same for your files and your folders. Let's see, the next section that we're going to take a look at is going to be the report center that pop up. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is going to be the cPanel logs. The cPanel logs diligently track and record all admin activity that take place within the Google Admin Console. This comprehensive log can prove to be an invaluable resource when trying to troubleshoot and resolve issues that may arise due to changes made within the Google Admin Console. By examining the cPanel logs, administrators can trace the sequence of actions, identify any configuration modifications, and pinpoint potential errors that could be contributing to the problem at hand. And there's a bunch of different filters that you can use that will kind of help you to maybe um, file down what specific event that you're looking for. But I always like to highlight these because these are really helpful. gPanel's reporting tool is a powerful feature that provides administrators with a comprehensive and granular view of their organization's Google Workspace environment. While the Google Admin Console offers basic reporting capabilities, gPanel goes far beyond, offering 77 customizable reports that deliver specific details about your users, groups, OUs, and domains. In the last week, our dev team has updated the report center. You can now create different grids that are basically will allow you to save up to 5 unique reports. You can preserve all your selected columns and applied filters. You can assign a custom title and color to each saved view for easy identification. And these saved views are going to be for the individual users only and not shared with the domain. So this is only going to be what you see. If other people choose to make other views, you wouldn't see those too. So it wouldn't get in the way of you guys. It wouldn't change for everyone, basically. Our reports are going to be categorized by service. Each report will have different sets of data depending on which report you choose. This is a quick look at all of our reports, but I do like to highlight that depending on the tier of gPanel will affect which reports you have. So for instance, if you're on starter, you're only going to have 12 reports, but if you're on standard or enterprise, then you will have access to all of these reports. And again, there's 77. We're always taking requests to add more. gPanel's reporting tool allows administrators to schedule reports for recurring tasks, such as weekly or um, monthly metrics. So let's go ahead and let's create one really quick. And again, you can choose to manually run it or you can set a schedule. And again, this is going to allow you to create that automation. So for instance, maybe you need a report to run let's say every weekday, every Monday at 10 a.m. You can come in and you can set that, you can create that up. If you're familiar with setting up, trying to schedule reports within the admin console, you'll notice that once you set up that report and you run that report, you have to go in and then basically set up the scheduling task again, which can be kind of frustrating. This is one and done. And this is also new too, the ability to add an end date. So if you needed to make sure that this report was only running for maybe every day for the month of August, but come September 1st, you wanted to stop, this new ability to add the end date is really helpful. That way, you don't have to go in and actually, come in and actually like edit it and change it. You can just set this and it will just stop on the end date. So it just gives you more control and saving you from having to manually manage all those old reports. As I mentioned, each report is going to have different sets of data available. This is our user profile report. So there's over 114 rows of information. You don't have to have all of these rows. For instance, if you were just maybe looking for what delegates were added to that user account, you can click that. Whatever type of information you can just unpick and click as you needed. We'll use all this information for now. Your sources, you can source this against users, groups, OUs, and domains. In this case, we're just going to do a user. And if you needed to like have this have this report after it runs automatically emailed maybe to the marketing director or a finance director, you can add that user in, or you can choose to share with another user. And you can also adjust their role. So for instance, I want to add Cole, but once he sees this, I only want him to have viewer rights to the report. I don't want him to be able to edit it or make any comments, just have viewers. So you can come in, you can change that as well. After you run all of the reports, you will always get this nice little review page. This is basically a summary of all of the information that you have compiled, all of your configuration. And then once you have your report, you can hit finish. Again, I have this scheduled, but if you needed to run it immediately, you can always come in and that, select your report, and you can run your report manually. I will say that gPanel reports, our reports, they are generated in real time. They provide you with the most up-to-date information. So when you do run the report, it may take a few minutes for you to see that information to pop up, but that's because in real time, gPanel is going through and collecting that data. If you know that if you look at some of the reports within the admin console, some of the reports are like 3 days late. So the information isn't always up to date. So that's one key thing about our reports is too, that they're up to date. So you have the most up to date information that you need, those metrics and everything. I'm going to stop here just because, and for the sake of time, But of course, if anybody has any other questions or would like to go over anything like more in depth, I'm more than happy to always, you can reach out. We can set up a meet, a phone call, can chat through email, and we can always kind of discover more tools about the gPanel, about our gPanel platform.
Thank you, Shelby. That was awesome. Again, these are meant to be sort of like quick run throughs, give you the highlights and then sort of give you the freedom to go in and explore. We can go way, way further down the rabbit hole of gPanel. It has so much functionality. You can find a lot of that if you go to our website, gpanel.io. We have a section there for our webinars where you can go through and see hours and hours and hours of tutorials that we've recorded over the years. And of course, as Shelby mentioned, you can reach out to her directly through our support channels. Normally, there would be a chat bot hanging out down in the corner. We're working on reworking that. So stay tuned for that. But normally, down in the bottom right corner, you would see a little purple icon that lets you chat directly with the support team. That'll be back very soon, I promise. We do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and address Ronnie's first. Shelby, you mentioned that you are able to create new reports if requested. How long would that take? And is there a whole process that we have to go through on the gPanel side? If you want, or what is the process for creating a new report or requesting? I guess if I can maybe read in between the lines here, it's requesting a new type of report.
A feature request. So you can always reach out to us. You can email us, but if you reach out to us, we can get a feature request out to our dev team, and that's why a lot of the new tools like the light and dark mode, a lot of those come from feature requests. So we always encourage our clients to give us feedback on whatever they want to see, whether it's a new report, whether it's a particular like functionality that you may have in the admin console that's not in gPanel. If you reach out to us, we'll get a feature request put in, and then we will get that to our dev team, and they always are really good about making sure that at least some part that feature request is like included in the next quarter. So they're really diligent. They do a really good job about making sure that those feature requests are somehow included in gPanel within like the next few months. It's not like years. It doesn't take years.
Right.
So yeah.
And of course, it's worth mentioning that we have 75 plus reports. So what you
Yeah.
want might already be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But of course,
Or some
feel free to
part.
reach
Yeah.
out. Um, there was one more that I think is worth exploring, and it's a little bit of a vague question, but I did want to throw it at you, Shelby, just to see. The question is basically find sent emails. So I think if I can perhaps help reposition it, is what does gPanel allow you to do when it comes to interacting or visibility into your users' emails?
Well, we don't you there's not any visibility into a user's inbox, email inbox just for privacy. We do have a Gmail deletion tool where you can actually go through and like delete all of the emails, but as far as being able to actually go into a specific user's inbox and like find like send emails or start emails, there isn't a tool like that. That is something that I would suggest. If that is something that you would like to see, perhaps we can get a feature request going, and we can get that over to the dev team. But currently, there's not a way for us to go like using gPanel. There's not a tool to be able to go into a user's inbox and kind of manage their inbox or look at things like that. The only Gmail settings are like kind of the ones I reviewed, like the account delegation, vacation responder, stuff like that, but nothing to actually look into the user's inbox.
That's right. Yeah, again, one of the big takeaways here for all of you is if you got a question or you got a request, reach out. This is what I think separates gPanel from other tools and Promevo from other Google partners. Ronnie jumping in with another one. Google Admin Console is a great API management tool, but there is one limit it has. Does gPanel allow you to see all of the users that have access to a specific API and then perhaps disable this API? I'll just keep reading. Google Admin Console does let you see API app access as well as the number of users using an API, but it doesn't let you see who those users are.
Mhm.
Does gPanel have visibility? Does it have a way for you to see who and what is using an API?
So the only so yes and no. So like I said, you can always see all the admin APIs. You would be able to run a check against like your users, but you would have to come in manually. So it wouldn't. So for instance, if there was one user in mine, let's just do Cole since we've been doing him today. I can come in and I can check Cole's like against his, and I see that okay, his calendar API is not working, but it's not going to give you a list of all the users. You'll have to actually come in and like, if you have a specific user in mind, you would have to come in and add. And it's only going to go off of like these 5 user APIs. So if there's like other APIs enabled, like I'm trying to think of one, like the other ones, you won't see those. It'll basically be the workspace APIs that you'll have access to.
Yeah, and Ronnie, again, like this is probably a good topic. If you want to reach out directly to Shelby, talk through your use case and what you're seeing, and see what's possible out there. We're over time, so with that, I'm going to call it a wrap. Shelby, as always, much appreciated. We do these every month, so normally the second Tuesday of every month. Hopefully no circumstances next month will lead to a week-long delay. So you guys can register for as many of these as you want. And occasionally we'll jump out with a topic. We'll do an in-depth webinar. We're hoping to do some more of those in the coming months, but we'll do this one every month. So you're welcome to sign up for it again. And with that, I want to say thank you to Shelby once again. Thank you to those of you that are out there. Thank you, Ronnie and others, for interacting with us live. And for the couple dozen of you that signed up and didn't make it today, we hope you enjoy the recording. And with that, we hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and stay safe, everybody. Bye now.
Great one.